think one of the biggest pull factors for illegal migrants, illegal asylum seekers to cross the channel is the fact that they can get British citizenship very easily, and I would ban all of them. If you arrive in this country illegally, no ifs, no buts, you should not be eligible for indefinite leave to remain or British citizenship. That is a big pull factor. The only people that gain from that system are the vile human traffickers. We cannot allow this to happen. We've got to have the rule of law. You've got legal routes to go through. We cannot have people just rock up and claim asylum illegally.
Fahima, does that make your skin crawl?
Look, I understand the sentiment, and I understand when people saying illegal that we just look at them as criminals. They are not criminals, all of them. They are coming, majority of them that do get approval is because they've gone through the process and they are actually able to be here legally. Now, if we're going to actually make that a lot more longer, which actually we have a backlog anyway, and that's not a deterrent. We have a system that's broken that needs to be fixed, and that will actually make it much better to know who legally should be here and who shouldn't.
Do you think there is any merit at all in having a debate about deterring people from coming here as asylum seekers?
Absolutely not, because I think when people are desperate and vulnerable or feeling that this is where they want to be, everyone's attracted to the UK, not because of it being soft. It's just the way that they feel that they want to live. Because remember, there's a history in the UK that they have also imprinted and implanted themselves across the globe. So people feel that there is an attachment somehow to come here.
But there is an argument they're coming from France. That's the argument often put to people who make your argument. France is safe too. Do they need to come to the UK? Wouldn't a deterrent just reduce some of them from crossing? Of course, there might still be desperate people who say, no, it has to be the UK. But we might weed out some of those who don't necessarily have to come to the UK.
They don't necessarily have to, but again, they have connections. Most likely they speak English. Most likely they feel that they want to actually belong here. So that's what I feel. Even though a lot of people may not like it, at the end of the day, we are following the rule of law, and we are compulsory to do so.
And actually, isn't the danger with some of this, Lewis, if we're saying people can never have citizenship, or if Shabana Mahmood is saying we make them wait for 20 years before they get citizenship, actually what we do is just prevent integration. We leave people in this limbo that they're already in, and then we have the sort of segregation of society that's creating a lot of the suspicion, a lot of the upset that we're seeing in towns and villages across the country because of asylum hotels or military sites is the latest one we've seen over the weekend. How does this help with any of that?
I mean, I think that's just a load of nonsense. I believe that fundamentally, and when you go out to speak to the British people, most people think that if you arrive here illegally, you should never be able to stay. If you come through legal routes, that's a completely different matter. We cannot have the levels of illegal immigration that we've seen at huge cost to the taxpayer, because that is the biggest pull factor. The fact that most people that come on a small boat have their asylum claims assessed and approved by this Labour government. The fact that they get that status is the biggest pull factor we can have, and we've got to end that. We've got to have proper deterrents in place, and the biggest deterrent we can do is to say, if you arrive on our shores illegally, you will never be able to get indefinite leave to remain or British citizenship.